Both of my ex-husbands cheated on me with men. Yep. Both. Let me start off by saying I created a new account for this because I love the anonymity of Reddit, and anyone who knows me will recognize this story of mine and would prefer them not to read my previous personal posts. But I have been wanting to post this story for a long time. Be prepared, it's long, but worth it. I was married when I was 21 to a very good-looking, athletic, work-oriented man. We did not live together until a month before the wedding. Just weeks before the wedding I started feeling like something was off with him, but also narrowed it down to cold feet. After we were married and past the fresh newlywed stage, his behavior started being very different. Almost like he was never really present. Always on his phone. He had this one gay guy friend who lived about 30 minutes away. I never met him, but they talked a lot. One time, about 9 months after we got married, I was using the computer and my husband's Facebook was signed on. As soon as he heard the ding that someone messaged, he rushed over to see who it was. It was his gay friend. He took the laptop from me and wrote "wife's" using computer and then gave it back. I'm sorry, but what? I don't know who would not question this. He just explained that sometimes his friend can share personal information or vent, and he didn't think it was my business, so he gave him the heads up. My husband was a very bad liar, so I did the horrible wife-girlfriend thing. When he was in the shower, I looked at his phone. And I saw all the texts from this guy. I found out he cheated on me with this guy. I told him the truth about what I did and found when he was done his shower, and he told me the truth: he was gay. He wasn't even upset how I found out. It was like a relief, and he just wanted to get everything off his chest. He explained that he is from a very religious family and doesn't want to live his life as gay. He wants kids, and to be married to a woman and have the white picket fence, but he wants to also be able to sleep and discreetly date guys as well. He said he loved me as a person, and enjoyed spending time with me, so asked if I would be okay with this. I was 22 and heartbroken. I told him I wouldn't tell anyone in his family, but I couldn't live that kind of life. I wanted to find someone who truly loved me. We decided to separate. Fast forward to when I was 23 and went on my first date with my second husband. I did the terrible thing everyone tells you not to do, and I brought up my first husband. I told him everything. The cheating on me with his gay friend, the asking me to stay married to him. I think one of the reasons I was venting about my ex on this date was because I had just recently found out that he had gotten another girl pregnant and was living with her. I just felt so bad for my ex-husband, but also pissed off. He shouldn't be using girls. I knew for a fact that this girl didn't know he was gay because she was my friend's friend. But I felt bad for him because I wish he'd feel more comfortable and come out and be with someone he truly loves, but he won't. So anyways, the emotions from this made me crazy that day. I vented about my past relationship on my first date with my second husband. He, oddly enough, wanted a second and a third. And 2 years later we were engaged, and a year after that we were married. We were married in December, and everything was amazing. I didn't question anything about him, nothing felt off. I was the happiest I had ever been. Now this is when the story gets interesting. The April after we got married, I went away for a weekend for the first time since we had been married. I was playing in a soccer tournament. Just before I left for this tournament, my work at the time had decided to give me a work phone. It was very poorly timed as I had just spent money on a brand new personal phone. Either way, it worked out for my husband because he had an old phone, a BlackBerry, LOL. So I asked him if he wanted the new one I just bought. He happily accepted. The only thing is, with the cell phone bills at the time, you paid your bill a month in advance. So when I went to cancel my personal line, they said I would still have the number for about 2 weeks. So I asked my husband if I could just put my SIM card in the BlackBerry so if anyone accidentally texted my old number I could still get it for a couple weeks. He gave it to me. It was pretty pointless to even ask cause I never left it on anyways. I charged it, but it was always off. Anyways, I went to the soccer tournament for the weekend. We did pretty shitty. And then I came home. The weekend after the soccer tournament I went out with my best friend wedding dress shopping. She was getting married and I was her MOH. We used my phone for researching places to visit, listening to music and using the GPS. After a full day of shopping and looking, she finally found the dress. She was so excited. She asked if me and my husband wanted to come over for a barbecue and drinks with her and her fiancé. Maybe a few other people. I agreed, but had to text my husband because he had a daughter and we had her that weekend and I wasn't sure what time he had to bring her back to her mom's. As I picked up my phone, it was dead. Shit. The worst part was I didn't even know his number off by heart. I never really dialed it, just used my phone. Then, light bulb. I could use the BlackBerry. So I turned on the BlackBerry. The funny thing is about phones, even when you remove your own SIM card, if you don't delete the apps or log out of them and there's a SIM card in it that works or you're connected to Wi-Fi, all of the notifications come through still. As I turned on this BlackBerry, all of his FB notifications, sport notifications, everything started coming through. It had been off for at least a week, so I just kept swiping it all away. Until I saw a notification from Gmail that said, Craigslist reply, wife's away. Please. Tell me who in this world would not open this. Now, let me be frank with you, I was very honest with my second husband about what happened with my first. Including the fact that I went through his phone. I even admitted that I was not proud of invading his privacy, but I was somewhat glad I did, otherwise maybe he never would have told me, right? Also, I was very clear to my second husband that my first cheated on me with men and how much that affected me. I am bisexual myself, so I would have been very understanding. I even told my second husband, it wasn't he really about the fact that he cheated with a guy, as it was I opened my heart up to this man and told him I was bisexual and the struggles I have had growing up with it, the girl that got away, everything. Yet he couldn't he find it in himself to tell me. I said this to my second husband on our first date, all I want is communication and honesty. The kind I gave but didn't he get from my first. My second husband agreed with this. As my heart stopped when I saw that notification, I didn't hesitate, I opened the email. It was a reply from a Craigslist ad that my husband had posted. I will admit, I didn't even read the email. I just wanted to see the fucking ad. I clicked on the ad, and there it was. A super close-up photo of my husband's ass, on a men seeking men ad on Craigslist with the title Wife's Away. I don't really remember what else the ad said. All I know is it said can host and that he wanted to be the bottom BH. I am not saying that to be rude, that was literally his words. I looked at the date and it was posted the weekend before when I was away for the soccer tournament. I can honestly say I have not been the same since this very moment. It's almost like I lost my heart the moment I came across this ad. But that day was not about me and my cheating husband. It was about my best friend. So I texted my husband and asked him if he wanted to go to her place for a barbecue. He said yes, and that he was just dropping his daughter off. When I got home to pick up my husband, I told him what happened. There was no way I couldn't. His response? It was just a test, I was just testing it, seeing if anyone could reply. Bullshit. Then as he sat there baffled about what to say, and knowing the type of person I am, someone who openly shares their life with their loved ones, he said, "Did you tell anyone? What do we do now?" I didn't answer his question, I just simply said we go to the barbecue. The barbecue was kind of fun for me, 'cause not only did I make him be the DD, but I also watched him sit there and be the most uncomfortable he had ever been. Not only did he not know what I was gonna do, but he also had no idea if my best friend and her fiancé knew about it. They didn't. Eventually he came clean about how he was bisexual, and just enjoyed sleeping with men but didn't want to date one. He made up lies about how he didn't know how I'd react and blah, blah. It wouldn't have mattered what he said, I was emotionally done without even knowing it at that point. As I mentioned earlier, he had a daughter, and she was wonderful and I loved her, so it made the decision I was faced with so much more difficult. I tried to make things work with him for almost a year, but I just couldn't. My heart died that day. He could have been the most perfect husband in the world, and he could have never cheated again, but in my mind he was always lying, he was always cheating. I just couldn't get past how someone could hear your tragic mess of a first fucking marriage to a gay man, and then fall in love with you, and then marry you, and then do the exact same fucking thing as your first husband. I had to end it, 'cause it wasn't a marriage anymore, and I fell out of love with him as I am sure he fell out of love with me as I became a completely different person. I hid from everyone, I overate and gained weight, I stopped working out, I drank every day, I was always on my phone. I was depressed to the max. So I had to leave him. It's been 4 years. I'm in my early 30s. Single, no kids. I focused on myself for years. I traveled, I lost 50 pounds, I got healthy and I look good. But I still can't seem to open my heart up again. My first husband has a child with a girl, but just recently got remarried to a different girl. My second husband has had many relationships since we split 4 years ago, maybe 10. But currently is in a long-term relationship. It's a joke and it pisses me off that it looks like they got their happy ending and I am sitting here destroyed by their actions. I know it's on me to get better and believe me, I have tried. I think my heart and part of my brain just shut off that day. I feel like everyone lies and everyone cheats. And no amount of exercise, therapy, amazing adventures or social gatherings has been able to turn it back on. I have since moved and started a new job and a healthy lifestyle in hopes that it naturally does. And just a side note that's a bit ironic, my brother is gay, and apparently has the worst gaydar.